Walt Disney Educational Media Company presents Beginning Auditory Reading Skills with Winnie the Pooh. And now, Eeyore and Roo compare opposites. One day, Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore were taking their friend Roo for a walk. As they went along the path, Eeyore was teaching Roo about summer.
In the summertime, the grass grows and turns bright green. Of course, a few months later it turns brown again. Every tree is covered with leaves. But then, before you know it, the leaves fall off. Roo, please stop me if you get bored.
Bored? Eeyore, I could listen to you all day.
You could?
Yes, your voice sounds so grown up. I wish I could talk like you.
You do?
But, Roo, it would be very hard for you to talk like Eeyore. Your voices are opposites. That means they are as different as two things can be.
Yes, but it never hurts to try. Perhaps I could give Roo some talking lessons.
Hooray! Talking lessons!
All right, Roo. If you want to sound like me, say these words I always say. Just as I expected.
Just as I expected! Hooray! I sound like Eeyore!
Oh, I'm afraid it isn't quite that easy, Roo. It's not just the words you say, it's how you say them. For one thing, Eeyore's words are slow, and yours are fast.
To show what he meant, Winnie the Pooh walked over to a log.
Now, listen carefully, Roo. This is slow. And this is fast. Slow and fast are opposites. They're different as two things can be.
Here's something else I like to say. Oh, well, what's the use?
Oh, well, what's the use?
Now, Roo, there's another problem. Eeyore's voice is soft, and yours is loud. Here, I'll show you what I mean.
Pooh led them through the trees to the bank of a stream.
Now, pay close attention, Roo. This is soft. And this is loud. Soft and loud are opposites, too, like slow and fast.
Oh, I can hear what you mean.
Well, Roo, another thing I like to say is this. If you don't mind, I'd rather not.
If you don't mind, I'd rather not.
No, Roo, I'm afraid you still don't sound like Eeyore. You see, his voice is low, and yours is high.
To show Roo what he meant, Winnie the Pooh picked up two hollow sticks from the ground.
Listen to these two sounds, Roo. This is low. And this is high. Low and high are opposites, too, like soft and loud and slow and fast.
Low and high are opposites, too.
When the lessons were over, the three friends continued their walk through the wood. Pooh went back to searching for honey. Eeyore watched for more signs of summer and commented on them proudly in his very grown-up voice. And Roo practiced his talking lessons. He worked on opposites, trying to change his voice from fast
Just as I expected.
to slow.
Just as I expected.
From loud
Oh, well, what's the use?
to soft.
Oh, well, what's the use?
From high
If you don't mind, I'd rather not.
to low.
If you don't mind, I'd rather not.
They circled back towards Rue's house. By the time they arrived, Rue's talking lessons had started to work. Sort of.
Mother, I had talking lessons. Now I sound just like Eeyore.
Why, so you do. Maybe we can listen to you while we have a little something to eat. Here's some honey for Pooh.
Isn't that odd? I was just thinking of honey.
Here's some fresh thistles for Eeyore.
They look delicious. They're good for my voice, you know.
And Roo, I had poured a glass of milk for you, but maybe you'd rather have thistles with Eeyore.
Thistles. Oh, well, yes, I guess so.
These thistles are very tasty, nice and fresh, just as they should be. Isn't that right, Roo?
Yes, they have a very sharp flavor.
Kanga, isn't it wonderful how grown-up Roo is sounding? I think talking lessons were just what he needed.
I suppose so. Still, I rather miss my little baby Roo. He was always so small and cuddly. He fit right into my pouch. But most of all, I think I miss his cute little squeaky voice. It would be so nice if I could hear it just once more, for old time's sake. We could talk and drink milk together.
Milk? I could have my milk.
Yes, dear, of course.
Eeyore, I hope you don't mind, but I think I'd like to use my old voice for a while longer.
Oh, dear, just as I expected.
But we can still go for walks, and you can teach me about summer because you're so smart and grown up.
I am.
And Eeyore, you can help me teach Roo about opposites.
I can.
Hooray! We can still talk about slow and fast and soft and loud and low and high.
Actually, Roo, I was thinking about two other opposites, sad and happy. I would be sad if you ever changed from being just the way you are. And I'm happy that you and Kanga and Eeyore and I are friends and always will be.
Now that you've learned so much about opposites, Pooh and his friends have some activities they want you to try. Your teacher will read the questions that come next. Walt Disney Educational Media Company presents Beginning Auditory Reading Skills with Winnie the Pooh. And now, Tigger learns about first, second, and third. It was a lovely spring morning, and Winnie the Pooh and Tigger were on their way to Rabbit's house for lunch. Pooh could hardly wait to get there, because Rabbit had promised to have honey cakes for dessert. And as everyone knows, Pooh loves honey. But Tigger wasn't quite so eager. He knew that Rabbit didn't like the way he was always bouncing up and down, up and down. When they arrived at Rabbit's house, the door was open and Rabbit was waiting.
Pooh, Tigger, won't you please come in?
Tigger bounced through the door.
Well, goodbye there, Rabbit.
Goodbye? What in the world?
Well, I suppose he meant hello. That is, it seems to me that... Rabbit, could I come in?
They went inside, and right away, Pooh began talking to Rabbit. He had heard that that's what luncheon guests were supposed to do.
Have you noticed, Rabbit, that things have been much the same for quite a while now? Part of it's the weather, I think. And then again...
Tigger, what are you doing?
I thought I'd help you out by washing the dishes, Rabbit.
But the dishes aren't even dirty yet. We haven't eaten.
Well, you should make sure to eat from clean dishes, I always say.
Pooh helped Tigger dry the dishes and put them back on the table, but there was still a funny feeling in the air.
Now that that's done, I suppose we may as well eat.
Tigger, who was getting hungry, did just that. But instead of waiting to sit down, he was eating the food right out of the icebox.
Tigger, maybe we should sit down first.
Sit down? Oh, certainly, of course.
They took their seats and ate without saying a word. Even the honey cakes didn't seem to help. After lunch, Pooh and Tigger got up from the table.
Well then, Rabbit, I think we probably should be going. It's been... delightful.
It certainly has. Hello, then, Rabbit.
Hello? Tigger, ever since you walked in the door, you've done everything in the wrong order. You said goodbye before saying hello. You washed the dishes before they were dirty. You even ate lunch before you had a chance to sit down. And now, before you leave, you say hello. Everything is in the wrong order.
Tigger, who had been jumpy to begin with, began bouncing higher and higher.
And would you please stop that bouncing?
Tigger sagged to the ground, and his mouth drooped.
What's wrong with me, Pooh? What does Rabbit mean when he says I do things in the wrong order?
I think I know, Tigger. If you'd like, we could practice, say, tomorrow.
It's a deal, Pooh. You're the best friend that Tigger ever had.
And so the next day, Tigger came bouncing over to Pooh's house.
You see, Tigger, your problem comes from not knowing what to do first, second, or third.
First, second, or third? What do you mean?
Take washing your face, for instance.
Washing my face? That's what Tiggers do best.
This is the way I like to do it. First, I put soap on my face. Second, I rinse off the soap. And third, I dry off my face.
Let's see now. First, you dry off your face. Second, you put soap on it. Gee, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. Maybe if I really washed my face, it would help.
So Tigger tried to wash his face.
First, you dry off the soap.
He tried again.
No. First, you dry off your face. Second, you rinse it off.
And again.
First, you face the soap. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't making sense.
Finally, he got it and showed Pooh what he had learned.
First, put soap on your face. Second, rinse off the soap. And third, dry off your face.
Tigger, you did it right.
Next, Pooh showed Tigger the first, second, and third things to do when getting out of bed.
Getting out of bed? That's what Tiggers do best.
This is what I do, Tigger. First, I wake up. Second, I get out of bed. And third, I make the bed.
So Tigger tried it.
Okay, first, wake up. Second, go to sleep. Say, that can't be right. I've got it. First, make the bed. I guess I'll have to wake up before I can make the bed.
But before long, Tigger had learned that one too.
First, wake up. Second, get out of bed. And third, make the bed.
That's it, Tigger. Did you ever think what you do first, second, and third when you want to drink a glass of milk?
Drinking a glass of milk? Well, that's what Tiggers do best.
First, get a glass. Second, pour the milk. And third, drink the milk.
Sure. First, you pour the milk and, oh no, what a mess. I guess you have to get a glass first.
The milk, Tigger finally got it right.
First, get a glass. Second, pour the milk. And third, drink the milk. Say, I'm pretty smart.
Tigger, I'm so proud of you. I'm going to ask Rabbit to have us back to lunch so you can show him what you've learned.
Oh, boy!
And so Pooh did. When the big day came, Tigger was on his best behavior.
Hello, Rabbit. Thank you so much for inviting us. Wait till you see how well I do things first, second, and third.
And with that, he bounced over to Rabbit's sink.
First, put soap on your face. Second, rinse off the soap. Third, dry off your face.
He bounced to the bed.
First, wake up. Second, get out of bed. Third, make the bed.
And he bounced to the icebox.
First, get a glass. Second, pour the milk. Third, drink the milk.
Then he bounced up to Rabbit, grinning.
Well, Rabbit, what do you think? Huh? Don't you like the way I do things first, second, and third?
I'll tell you what I think, Tigger. First, I'll ask you to sit down in this chair. Second, I'll tell you that I'm very proud of you. And third, I'll say, stop that bouncing.
Now that you've learned so much about first, second, and third, Pooh and his friends have some activities they want you to try. Your teacher will read the questions that come next. Walt Disney Educational Media Company presents Beginning Auditory Reading Skills with Winnie the Pooh. And now, Roo finds out about rhymes. April had arrived, and for Winnie the Pooh, that meant spring cleaning. He was sweeping, mopping, and scrubbing his house, and his friend Roo was helping him. The work seemed to be going slowly, and suddenly Pooh thought he knew why.
Roo, I just remembered something. Singing always makes a job go faster. We need to make up a cleaning song.
But I've never made up a song.
Well then, I'm afraid I must ask you a very important question. Do you know what rhymes are?
Why, yes, I eat them for breakfast. That is, I wear them on my ears, or... No, Pooh, I don't know what rhymes are.
Rhymes are words that sound alike. For instance, fun, sun, and run. Each rhyme has a different beginning sound, but the ending sounds are always the same, like pen, hen, and ten. Or wall, hall, and ball.
How about C, T, and me?
That's very good, Roo. C, T, and me all sound alike. They all rhyme.
Hooray! I made up a song.
Excuse me, Roo, but it's not quite that easy. First, we have to put the rhyming words into rhyming sentences. Would you like to go for a short walk? I think I can explain it better that way.
Oh boy, a walk!
Outside, the sun was shining. It was a beautiful spring day.
It's always fun to jump and run.
It sure is. I love to go on walks.
No, Roo. What I meant was, that's a rhyming sentence. It's always fun to jump and run. Fun and run sound alike. They're rhyming words. Here's another rhyming sentence. Before too long, we'll have a song. The rhyming words are long and song. Now, you try one.
In the wood, there lived a rabbit. Hooray! I did it!
It's a very nice thought, Roo, but I'm afraid it's not a rhyming sentence because wood and rabbit don't sound alike. Maybe it would help if I made up a sentence but left out the rhyming word at the end. Then you could tell me what it is.
Oh boy, this sounds like fun.
I held a rose up to my
Nose.
This flower's new. Its color is
Blue.
the fat green frog hopped on the
Log.
I saw Mr. Mole crawl out of the
Hole.
birds fly high up in the
Sky.
I think you've got it, Roo. Why don't you make up some?
Let's see. Sometimes bees live in
Trees.
who can't go far from his honey.
Jar. I don't mean to interrupt you, Roo, but perhaps we should go back to my house. All at once I'm feeling a rumbly in my tumbly.
Hey, rumbly and tumbly sound alike. They rhyme.
As the two of them headed back, Roo's thoughts were filled with rhymes. Pooh's thoughts were filled with honey, and soon his tummy was too.
Perhaps now we're ready to make up a cleaning song. Once you have rhyming sentences, all you really need is a nice hum to go with them. Oh, let's see. Whenever I'm able, I dust off the...
Table.
I clean off the chair and put it right.
There.
I use my broom to sweep the...
Room.
And then when I'm done, I say it's been...
Fun. We did it! We made up a song.
And so they had. Not only that, they had finished cleaning the house. Who had been right? Singing made the job go faster. For the rest of the afternoon, the two friends sat at the table, making up songs and remarking how shiny the house looked. After Roo had thought of words for 23 songs, he decided that rhyming wasn't so hard after all. That's the story of Roo and his day with Pooh. My goodness, I can do it too. Now that you've learned so much about rhymes, Pooh and his friends have some activities they want you to try. Your teacher will read the questions that come next. Walt Disney Educational Media Company presents Beginning Auditory Reading Skills with Winnie the Pooh. And now, Owl explains about beginning sounds. It was a beautiful fall day, and Winnie the Pooh and Piglet were on their way to Owl's house for lunch. When they arrived, Owl greeted them at the door.
Welcome, my friends. Do you have the things I asked you to bring?
Well, yes, I believe so. Here's the tie. I rather like polka dots, don't you?
A tie? No, no, Pooh. I said bring a pie, not a tie.
Oh, bother. Well, Owl, we don't have a pie, but we do have the mail.
Mail? No, Pooh, I didn't say bring the mail. I said bring a pail for Piglet's acorns.
But the acorns are in the sacks you ask us to bring.
No, Piglet, I didn't say sacks. I said tacks to hang up the decorations. I know you both meant well, but I don't think you listened very closely to what I said. And in particular, you didn't listen to the beginning sounds of my words.
What's a beginning sound, Owl? It sounds like a very important sort of thing.
It is, my dear Pooh. It's the sound at the start of a word. If you don't listen to it closely, things can get quite mixed up, as you've just found out.
Owl invited his friends in and began to teach them about beginning sounds.
Now, take your names, for example. Pooh and Piglet. They sound the same at the beginning, so we say that they have the same beginning sound.
Pooh? Piglet? Hey, you're right. They do have the same beginning sound.
Can you think of other words that have that same beginning sound as Pooh and Piglet?
Well, there's the pie that we didn't bring. Pooh, Piglet, pie.
This pear starts with the same sound. Pooh, Piglet, pie, pear.
This pot on the stove begins with the same sound. Pooh, piglet, pie, pear, pot.
Very good, you two. Now, as you can see... I think someone's at the door.
Owl opened it, and there was Tigger.
Say, excuse me, Owl, but I was just bouncing by and couldn't help smelling something delicious.
Well, yes, you see, I'm cooking something for lunch. I don't suppose...
Lunch? Certainly, Owl. Don't mind if I do.
Tigger bounced in and saw the others.
Well, what do you know? It's Pooh and Piglet.
I was just explaining, Tigger, that the names Pooh and Piglet have the same beginning sound. Listen. Pooh, Piglet.
Well, what do you know?
Your name, on the other hand, does not have the same beginning sound as Pooh and Piglet. It has a different beginning sound. Listen closely now. Tigger.
Pooh, Piglet, Tigger. Well, can you beat that? It is different.
That's right, but Tigger has the same beginning sound as some other words. Can you name some?
Well, there's tie, Tigger, tie. Say, Pooh, those polka dots are terrific.
Table has the same beginning sound, too. Tigger, tie, table.
Oh, and how about towel? Tigger, tie, table, towel.
Good. You've got the idea. Do you see how important beginning sounds are?
We sure do. Say, Owl, when are we going to eat this meal that smells so great?
It won't be long now, Tigger. But while we're waiting, think about the beginning sound of the word meal.
Golly, let's see. Meal.
And is the beginning sound of the word meal the same as in Pooh, or is it different?
I know, it's different. Meal, Pooh.
That's right, Piglet. And is the beginning sound of the word meal the same as in Tigger, or is it different?
Well, let me see. I think it's different. Meal, Tigger. Yes, they are different.
That's right. Now, what are some words that have the same beginning sound as meal?
Well, I suppose the mail I brought has the same beginning sound. Meal, mail.
Say, this mug has the same beginning sound, too. Meal, mail, mug. Now, if I just had some milk to put in here...
Milk. That's another one, Tigger. Meal, mail, mug, milk.
Very good, all of you. And now it's time for lunch.
As they ate, Owl suggested that they practice the beginning sounds that they had learned.
Let's start with the beginning sound of Piglet.
Piglet, please pass the pepper pot, and I'll put pepper on the potatoes and peas.
Pooh, I'm perfectly pleased to pass the pepper pot.
Excellent. Now, let's practice the beginning sound of Tigger.
Tigger, take the top off the tea and taste it.
Tea is tasty, but toast is too. It tastes terrific.
Very good. And now let's practice the beginning sound of meal.
Milk makes a merry meal, and it makes a milk mustache.
For my meal, I must have melon, macaroni, and mushrooms.
That's it, Tigger. You've got it.
Tigger took another bite of food, then turned to Owl once again.
You know, Owl, I think I've discovered something. I like the beginning sound of melon, macaroni, and mushrooms, but I like their taste a lot better.
Now that you've learned so much about beginning sounds, Pooh and his friends have some activities they want you to try. Your teacher will read the questions that come next. Walt Disney Educational Media Company presents Beginning Auditory Reading Skills with Winnie the Pooh. And now, Pooh learns to listen and draw conclusions. It was a cold day in the middle of winter, and Winnie the Pooh was on his way to visit Owl. As he walked, he shivered and rubbed his paws together. When he got to Owl's house, he knocked on the big wooden door.
Owl, I was wondering, could I please come in?
Why, certainly, Pooh. You must be freezing. And might I ask, what brings you out on such a cold day?
Yes, Owl. I'm here because something very strange has happened. I felt cold this morning, and there was a special coldness in my paws. That's when I thought of it.
Thought of what?
My mittens are gone. They've been missing ever since yesterday when I went to the wood pile. I'm sure I left them there, but when I went back, they were gone.
Someone must have picked them up by accident.
But the mittens are just my size. What could anyone else do with them?
That, my dear Pooh, is a riddle.
A riddle? What's that?
A riddle is like a mystery. You think about the clues or hints, and using the clues, you try to guess the answer. For instance, Pooh, here's a riddle for you. I'm thinking of something that has 4 legs and is used to sit in. What is it?
My goodness, that's hard. There are lots of things that have 4 legs.
Ah, but Pooh, the clues tell you more than that.
That's true. You said it's also used to sit in. Oh, I know. It's a chair.
Very good, Pooh. You've solved your first riddle. Let's try another one. I'm thinking of something that tells the time of day and makes a ticking noise. What is it?
Well, there are several ways of telling the time of day, but only one of them ticks. It's a clock, like this one.
Excellent. Now, let's try another riddle. I'm thinking of something sweet and sticky that bears love to eat. What is it?
Oh, that's easy. It's honey. By the way, Owl, you wouldn't happen to have some, would you?
As a matter of fact, Owl did have some honey, and the two friends stopped for a little something to eat. As Owl sipped his tea, he suggested that Pooh make up some riddles.
I'm not thinking of anything, Owl, because I don't know how to make up a riddle.
It's not hard, Pooh. First you think of something, but you don't say what it is. Instead, you give some clues or hints about it, and then you ask, what is it?
All right. Think, think, think. I'm thinking of something that's round with a handle on the side, and you drink tea out of it. What is it?
Unless I'm mistaken, it's a cup.
You certainly are smart, Owl. I didn't think you'd ever guess that. Now I'm thinking of something else. It's got walls and a roof, and animals such as Pooh and Owl can live there.
Well, it sounds like a house.
That's right, Owl. You guessed it again. This is fun.
And now that we've had some practice, let's try to solve the riddle of your mittens.
But, Owl, we don't have any clues.
Yes, Pooh, you're right. Perhaps we should go to the woodpile and see if we can find some.
Pooh led the way out of Owl's house and through the wood. As he walked, he made up more riddles.
I'm thinking of something cold and white that covers the ground during winter. What is it?
That, my dear Pooh, is snow.
As they arrived at the woodpile, Pooh made up still another riddle.
I'm thinking of something that's tall and has branches, with leaves in the summer and no leaves in the winter. What is it?
Before Owl could answer, they heard a familiar voice.
Excuse me for saying so, but I know the answer to your riddle. It's a tree.
Out from behind the woodpile stepped Eeyore.
Hello, Pooh. Hello there, Owl. Lovely day, isn't it?
You seem very happy this morning, Eeyore.
I certainly am. You see, I'm happy because I'm standing in my lucky place.
Your lucky place? Whatever do you mean?
Since I heard you telling riddles, I'll put my answer in a riddle too, and you can guess. I'm thinking of a time of year when the weather's cold and there's snow on the ground. What time of year is it?
Winter?
That's right, Pooh. Now I'm thinking of two long, droopy things on a donkey's head that get very cold on a winter's night. What are they?
Ears. Your ears.
Very good, Owl. Now, and this is the best part of all, I'm thinking of two knitted things that fit snugly on the ears to keep them warm. What are the knitted things called?
Well, they could be, but then... I guess I really don't know, Eeyore.
Ear warmers. Aren't they grand? I found them here in my lucky place just yesterday. And last night they kept my ears nice and toasty.
There's the answer to your riddle, Pooh. Eeyore's been using your mittens as ear warmers.
A sad look crossed Eeyore's face.
Mittens? Oh, yes, I see. Well, I thought they were too good to be true.
Suddenly, Pooh had a wonderful idea, the kind of idea that bears get only once in a great while. But instead of telling his friends, he made it into a riddle.
I'm thinking of a time of day, the time when it's dark outside, and sleeping donkeys need ear warmers.
That would be nighttime.
Now I'm thinking of another time, the time when it's light outside and bears need mittens.
That's daytime. Yes, I think I see. Eeyore, you can use the mittens in the night-time so you don't have cold ears. Pooh can wear his mittens in the daytime so he won't have cold hands. What a fine idea.
And so the riddle of the mittens was solved in a way that made both Pooh and Eeyore happy. And Owl? He had one last riddle.
I'm thinking of a special feeling that the three of us share that keeps us warm and happy all the time.
I think I know, Owl. It's friendship.
With that riddle, they trundled off through the wood, and even though the snow was cold, the three friends felt very warm indeed. Now that you've learned so much about listening to clues and solving riddles, Pooh and his friends have some activities they want you to try. Your teacher will read the questions that come next. Walt Disney Educational Media Company presents Beginning Auditory Reading Skills with Winnie the Pooh. And now, Christopher Robin teaches about what, where, and when. It was a beautiful day in the 100-acre wood, but Winnie the Pooh was feeling a little sad. He went to see his friend, Christopher Robin.
I don't know what to do, Christopher Robin. I have a very important message for Rabbit, but he's not home.
Well, Pooh, maybe I can help.
Thank you, Christopher Robin. You see, I want to invite some friends for dinner at my house tonight, and I want Rabbit to help me invite them.
He shouldn't be hard to find. Every day Rabbit does the same things, in the same places, at the same times. If you know what those things are, you should be able to find him. For instance, he's been trying to teach Tigger not to bounce. Rabbit teaches Tigger at the stream before lunch.
Oh, I see. He tickles Tigger in the stream. No, he takes Tigger to lunch. Christopher Robin, could you please say that again?
Pooh, it sounds as if you need a little help listening and remembering. When that happens, try using question words. 3 of the most important question words are what, where, and when.
They sound very nice, but I'm not sure I understand.
Well, let's start with what. What does Rabbit do?
I suppose Rabbit teaches Tigger.
Very good, Pooh. Now where? Where does Rabbit teach Tigger?
At the stream?
That's right. And now when? When does Rabbit teach Tigger?
Before lunch. Rabbit teaches Tigger at the stream before lunch.
You've got it, Pooh. Now just use those 3 question words, what, where, and when, and you should be able to find Rabbit.
After thanking Christopher Robin, Pooh set off happily through the 100-acre wood, repeating what he had been told.
What? Rabbit teaches Tigger. Where? At the stream. When? Before lunch. Rabbit teaches Tigger at the stream before lunch.
He arrived at the stream just before lunch and found Tigger, but Rabbit wasn't there.
Hello, Pooh. I was just practicing nut bouncing, but I don't have it quite right yet.
Tigger, where is Rabbit? Christopher Robin told me that every day Rabbit teaches you at the stream before lunch.
Well, yes, but we finished early today and Rabbit had to leave. I don't know where he went.
Oh, bother. I have a message for him. Come on, Tigger. Let's go back and see Christopher Robin.
The two friends made their way across the wood. And soon they were standing in front of Christopher Robin, explaining what had happened.
Well, Pooh, I don't know where else Rabbit goes in the morning, but I do know where he'll be this afternoon. Every day he helps Piglet collect acorns. They meet at the oak tree after lunch. Now, try using the 3 question words to help you remember. What does Rabbit do?
I know. Rabbit helps Piglet collect acorns.
That's right, Tigger. And where do they meet?
At the oak tree.
Very good, Pooh. And when do they meet?
After lunch.
You've got it.
Christopher Robin, speaking of lunch, do you think perhaps we could have a little something to eat?
The 3 of them sat down to a tasty meal of sandwiches, milk, and, of course, honey. When they had finished, Pooh and Tigger set off.
Let's use the 3 question words to help us find Rabbit.
What? Rabbit helps Piglet collect acorns.
Where? They meet at the oak tree. And when? After lunch.
A few minutes later, they arrived at the oak tree.
Rabbit, are you there?
A head poked out from among the branches, but the head didn't belong to Rabbit.
Pooh, Tigger, I say, what brings you here?
Hello there, Owl. We were just looking for Rabbit. Christopher Robin told us he helps Piglet collect acorns.
They meet at the oak tree after lunch.
That's correct. The only problem is that they finished a few minutes ago and left. I'm not sure where they went.
Oh, bother. I wanted to give Rabbit a very important message. Well, perhaps we should go back and talk to Christopher Robin again.
They did just that, and before long, Pooh, Tigger, and Owl were standing before Christopher Robin, telling him what had happened.
Don't worry, Pooh. I happen to know that Rabbit likes to take naps. He naps on the big rock near your house, and he does it every afternoon before dinner.
All right. We'll use the 3 question words, what, where, and when, to help us remember.
What?
Taking naps. Rabbit likes to take naps.
Where?
He naps on the big rock near Pooh's house.
When?
Rabbit naps every afternoon before dinner.
That's excellent. I'm sure you'll be able to find Rabbit this time.
And off they went, repeating what Christopher Robin had told them.
What? Rabbit likes to take naps.
Where? He naps on the big rock near Pooh's house.
When? Rabbit naps every afternoon before dinner.
When they arrived at the big rock, there at last was Rabbit, dozing in the sun. Tigger was so excited that he bounced all around his sleeping friend.
Hooray! We found him!
Oh, hello, everyone. What are you doing here?
We've been looking everywhere for you, Rabbit. Pooh has a very important message.
You see, Rabbit, my message was, well, another way of putting it is, oh, bother, I can't remember what it was.
The question words, Pooh. Use the question words to help you remember.
Yes, let's see. The what is, I want you to help me invite some friends for dinner. The where is, at my house. And the when is, tonight. I want you to help me invite some friends for dinner at my house tonight.
But, Pooh, we don't have to invite them. They're already here.
And so they were. The 4 friends went to Pooh's house and sat down to a wonderful dinner. That day had been very special for two reasons. Because everyone had such a wonderful time, and because Pooh learned how to remember using the question words what, where, and when. Now that you've learned so much about the question words what, where, and when, Pooh and his friends have some activities they want you to try. Your teacher will read the questions that come next.